Hey y'all, I'm here with Marvel Comics writer Ram V. Ram, how you doing?
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
All right.
It's exciting. New York Comic Con, of course. We are in the middle of October,
Yeah.
the spookiest season in the world, and thankfully, you write some of our coolest, creepiest, weirdest, darkest, gnarliest, goriest comics. Why are you so broken inside? Why do you like writing such horror?
To be honest, I've always been fascinated with that sort of weird edge that just existential dread has. So it's not that I particularly write horror, it's just that everything I write eventually ends up being horrific.
You do a great job with it. Big fan. I'll be honest with you. I grew up reading Amazing Spider-Man and like Carnage when he first came out, and very vivid memories of getting those issues. But I've never been a huge Carnage guy.
Right.
But I'm reading what you guys, especially what you guys are doing right now on Carnage, and like the trips that it's taking, and the divergences for Carnage and Cletus and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's got to be fun to take these characters who have now 30 years of history into some really new areas.
Yeah, I mean, when I was first approached to write these books, frankly, like part of my question was like, really, me? Why? And I think part of that brief was, I want you to do something that's not been done before. I want you to take it to a place where it's not been before. And I quite like the idea that, you know, horrific, dangerous things can also be intelligent and motivated and complex. And so that's kind of what I've tried to do with Carnage, in that there is a complexity and a difficulty in that relationship between Cletus and Carnage. And we've never really quite seen them apart like this.
Yeah.
I just wrote an issue that focuses exclusively on Cletus as well, so I'm quite excited for people to see where that part of the story has gone.
For sure. And taking it in like literal new places, you know, seeing them like interacting with dark elves and stuff like that. I think that's rad. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's part of the joy of working in comics is these universes are so bold, so bizarre in terms of their ideas, and they're not afraid of, putting completely incongruous things right next to each other. And to me, that's part of the joy of writing comics. So when I started working on Carnage, I was like, I want him to go to places of the Marvel Universe where he has never been before, and to see those universes react to the presence of this thing that is not motivated by power or right or wrong. Like, it's just Carnage.
Did you grow up reading Marvel comics? Or like when did you first
to an extent, like I grew up in India, so I couldn't get the single issues there every month. But the Spider-Man animated show was kind of my gateway into Marvel, and you know, ever since then, like animation has certainly been a gateway for me. But also, you know, I had friends and relatives who would visit the States, and they'd bring back the collected editions and stuff. So I had read some Marvel comics when I was a kid. But really, my gateway back in was like in my late teens. A friend of mine gifted me a comic that was, you know, more mature work, and I really got into Neil Gaiman stuff. So Eternals, 1604, all of that stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what brought me back in, if you will.
I mean, it's good. That it's good material to get brought back in. And you mentioned the Spider-Man animated series, and you're also writing Venom. One of my favorite shots, I have like this animated GIF that I always like pulling out, is Venom driving a truck from that animated series, and he like looks at the camera and he honks the horn. Please, can we get a scene like that in Venom?
Done.
Yes! Nailed it. Job's over. Got it.
Done. Now when you know when it comes out in an issue, you know why.
I'm really digging Venom, and I like you're working with Al Ewing and Brian friggin' Hitch, who's
amazing.
There's I think the issue comes out soon. It's not out yet, but there's this like 2-page spread where we have Dylan Brock in this cool location. I'm like reading this issue. I'm like, this is gnarly. It's super cool. It's you got both the horror, but like just the weird, which I really like.
Yeah. I mean, I know the issue that you're talking about. I'm actually really proud of those issues because I think that arc is called Venom World.
Yeah.
And it's the first time Dylan's inside the mind of Venom, because usually it's the symbiote occupying a human body. This time we've got the human being occupying a symbiote body. And see what it's like inside the mind of a creature like Venom. So constructing that world was pretty great. And then just to have that art sort of be taken up by Brian, who is part of the vocabulary of modern day superhero comics. So someone that sort of pivotal, just drawing that, it's amazing to get those pages back myself. Yeah.
Pretty real cool. Of course, I'm sure big stuff coming for Venom and Carnage. One last tease before we let you go.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest question I keep getting asked is, are these two books going to collide? And boy, are they going to collide. All of these fates are intertwined. Cletus, Carnage, Dylan, Eddie, Venom, Meridius, all of that's going to come together in due time. And when it does, it's going to be epic, but also very, very messy.
Love a messy epic. Thank you, Ram.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.